Do you agree with what Deion is saying about the way people are handling Shedeur right now?
I do agree, because what Deion's talking about is coming in with all of the credentials and the things that Lamar had accomplished in Louisville. Why did we have so many question marks? And they kept coming up during the draft that made him drop and almost out of the first round if Baltimore didn't jump back in and draft him. And in that way, this is similar, because we heard Shedeur was going to be one of the top 2 quarterbacks taken. Who was going to go first? Then, it was clearly Cam, and he was going to go 3rd, and now then 6th, and then 9th, and 21, and now even out, we don't even know. And where is he dropping? So, yeah, he's absolutely right. When you put together what he has done on the football field, in games, and you start talking about all the things that we've heard, that they're saying, oh, he's not this, he's not that. And it's about playing football. This is about playing football. It's the most important position out there, it's quarterback. So, yeah, he's being unfairly spoken about in certain ways, but Deion's also talking about he could land in a perfect spot. That's why I say it's not falling, it's landing. And if he lands in a perfect spot, Lamar, he could be a 2-time MVP real soon.
You know what? I actually love that he's being criticized, Key.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was criticized coming out. Lamar was criticized coming out. Look where he ended up. Sometimes you need these type of things to motivate you. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
and these are the type of things that make you a stronger player. And if you are who they say you are as a player, everything's gonna play out. You know, because when I hear criticism about his attitude, he didn't have a great interview, and look at what he's tweeting. I'm built for whatever today it may bring. And he is, because he comes from a family that was criticized. Deion, one of the greatest players. He grew up under one of the greatest players.
Was criticized.
That's what I'm saying.
Still is criticized.
One of the greatest players. He had the tutelage from birth all the way to this point. To where, listen, I want to pick a guy who's been under that type of environment his whole life. He understands what hard work is. He understands what discipline is. He understands what being great is. So if any teams tonight have any concerns, have the concerns of things that you don't like about him football-wise, that he can grow into. Because from what I've seen quarterbacks come into this league and be one thing and turn into another thing, a la Lamar Jackson. So, is the criticism fair? Maybe not sometimes. But I will say this about the criticism, Shedeur. Use this as motivation and go shot why you should be one of the top picks.
You know, I agree with Deion in the comparing Shedeur's criticism to Lamar, and I said it yesterday on the show. The guy that benefited from that was Lamar Jackson.
Right.
He was asked to play a different position or give him a look at a different position. You're not going to ask certain quarterbacks that come into the league to go and try out a DB, a running back, a receiver. You didn't ask Andrew Luck that. You know, there's certain guys you just don't look at and say those sort of things. Lamar's gotten a couple MVPs. He's played in the AFC Championship games and playoffs and all of those things because he landed in the perfect position in the right spot. And a lot of those quarterbacks that go ahead of people in the draft, they turn out to be nothing. They're on the move. They're being traded. They're being cut. They're now on their 15s, things of that nature. So if I'm Shedeur, I don't even worry about those criticisms because most of the time...
Don't worry about them.
Most of the time, the people that is doing the criticizing are not the ones making the decisions on whether or not to draft you. There's either some little scout or assistant general manager that just wants to, in their report, say something negative about you. One of the things that's the craziest thing in football, and Michael knows this, and I don't know if it exists as much in basketball, but one of the craziest things on draft day, you think they really want to draft you, but they really are looking to get value from you. So if they can make you slide and pick you up, opposed to the value that you really are at the top, they'll do it. They do it every single year.
And what he's talking about, some teams put out false rumors and hoping you slide, which I think is a dirty trick to play on these kids' happiest day also. You know, that's a little dirty for me when you start doing those things. The fact that we're talking about this, though, and the fact that this kid tweeted, I'm built for that. You see, these are the things that I put in the equation when I'm talking about the Giants. You got to have a quarterback with that mentality because New York is different. You got to have somebody that believes they're built for that. You saw what it did to the last guy you drafted who thought, he could do this.
Crumbled.
And that's what happens in New York. You got to put this in your equation. Another thing, when you land at a certain spot, we talked about Lamar Jackson. Let's talk about another great who landed somewhere after what people call falling in Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. Both of those guys also sat behind a quarterback before taking over the quarterback. So when they got on the field, boy, they were loved from day one because the other people was ready to get rid of the other quarterback. So yeah, this is a great opportunity, man. And the kid writing it the way he just wrote it says to me everything. And if I'm a GM, I'm like, I need somebody that's looking for that than running from it.
And a lot of, as we say, and both of y'all know this, a lot of this is really angled at his father, believe it or not. It's a lot of it is angled at him because of his personality, who he is, and how great he's been, both as a player, as a coach, and now what he's doing for Colorado. Michael, do you have any concerns with Shedeur not playing this year? Look, this year for his dad. You have any concerns at all that he won't be playing for his father in the NFL this year?
Listen, I know Shedeur, and you guys all know Shedeur and Prime has a great relationship. And I know he loves his dad. But as I told you guys before, he was tugging on me to try to get out of there a year early. And he's like, hey, you gotta help me, You gotta help me talk to my dad. I said, my name is Bennett. I'm not in it. I'm not, Deion got a plan. And you gotta follow that plan, So don't tell me that you're worried about him being away. I'm telling you, this is the kind of kid that runs towards those challenges, run towards those type things, not from it.
Do I have concerns of him not playing? I think it's come to a certain point, Key. It's time to let your son, your daughter spread their wings, and Shedeur knows that. He's ready for it. He's ready. Right. He's shown it now over the years. I mean, he's had them from day one all the way till he got to this point. Why do you think he's projected a first-round pick? He's projected the second quarterback to get picked. He's earned that right. He's put in the time. He's worked hard for it. Is he ready? Absolutely, he's ready. There's a reason that he was one of the most accurate quarterback in college football. I mean, does that not say something? What did we say about Tom Brady? I remember this when the Patriots drafted. What did they say about Patrick Mahomes when he came in? It's just so many guys that's become great. You have to read the signs. Now, if you don't see...
And both of those guys got something extra about them. And it's what I'm talking about with Shedeur. Those guys have something
He
extra.
has it.
Yeah.
And Deion knows it. Go ahead, son. I know you're going to be successful wherever you go. I mean, we were all under somebody. You're like, yeah, that's his dad, but we had coaches that we were with for years.
It was like our dad.
That was like our dad, right? That was like you was with for years, and then when it was time you to go off to college or leave college to go here, no matter how many years it's been, you still were successful. No, so I don't want to hear that bull crap about can he succeed without his dad, because yes, he's going to be able to do it.
Again, this is the NFL draft, Michael. Right. And we're always, in the NFL draft, we looking to be
this shouldn't even be a conversation. It shouldn't even be a conversation.
But it is. Really, because there's many players have come along in the National Football League. First of all, I don't have a problem with him not playing for his father. Okay, so what? He ain't playing for his daddy. Big deal. This year. Okay, so a lot of people in the league, though, have gone to the league, have played for their fathers, their brothers, their cousins. Right. Family members have trained them. Okay, you take for instance, the Mannings. Just take, for instance, that. They're training Arch Manning from Texas. He'll be in the draft. He'll be one of the top, if not the top quarterback prospect. But they don't coach him in college or in high school, but they train him. Same thing. They're training with him a lot. They're talking to him. They're watching film with him.
And
they're teaching him.
Influence on what's going on.
And they have influence on what's going on. Heavy influence, Michael.
Right. Exactly.
Will we hear the same criticisms about Arch Manning as we do Shedeur when his time comes out? I don't think we will. The only criticism we're going to hear it's such a great thing that he's being tutored by his uncles.
Right.
That's all you're gonna hear.
Yeah, but it's different in this way. And it's different in this way, Key, because Arch is played quarterback and he's coaching the quarterback. You know, Deion is a defensive player. He's a head coach. He has allowed Shedeur to be with other coaches. They don't
absolutely, 1000%.
Now, you see what I'm saying? So he's already been coached by other people than his dad. He spends more time with Pat Sherman than he did with his dad. In the room. So that's what bothers me when I hear stuff like that. That's the stuff that you got to say, stop it.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.